It's Tom Green Live. Live from Los Angeles.
Hey David, how's it going?
Oh, what's up, TG? What's going on?
What are you doing here? Anyways.
I just was chilling in Burbank today, and
Yeah.
I heard Stacy Keach was on the show,
Yeah.
so I just let myself in, and
Yeah.
I'm reading his book, which is actually pretty interesting all in all. So I just was kind of hanging out today.
You want to
Got
co-host?
nothing to do.
Want to co-host the show?
Can I co-host the
Yeah.
show?
That'd be fun, right?
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, this is the
I want
show.
to talk to Stacy Keach.
Yeah,
I love you, but I want to talk to Stacy.
Well, it's going to be great. We're excited to have him here. Also,
Yeah.
also an amazing comedian here today. Nick Thune is here today
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So we have a real good show planned.
Okay.
And
I'll
this
help
is
you co-host.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Things have been going well. Things have been going real well for me, David. You know, I mean, you got the new show here. It's been a lot of fun. Had Steve Carell on the show last
what I
week.
heard. That's
It was really
huge.
exciting season premiere. Great to have you here. It's you know, we've been friends for a long time.
Yes, we have.
You know, we'll get to talk a little bit about our friendship at some point during the show.
Okay, that sounds good.
People will be calling in and asking questions to you, maybe ask you some questions about
Let's
your
hope I get a phone
career,
call.
about
That'd be awesome.
Bud Bundy. I'm
Bud
sure
Bundy.
a lot of people want to talk to you about that. I've had a pretty interesting week. I just went up to Canada for a craft beer convention last weekend and drank beer all weekend. So last week we had the season premiere of the show, this show, then went up to Toronto and I drank beer all weekend. And we shot a little video up there actually, just some behind the scenes video in the city of Toronto. This is you know, where I'm from, Canada. And we went and drank beer with all the Canadians, because I have a beer out now in Canada.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's called the Tom Green Beer.
Oh, that's right. Todd told me about that.
Yeah, it's called the Tom Green Beer. It's my favorite beer. There, see my pictures on the bottle there, and I'm drinking out of the bottle. And yeah, we met a girl who did handstands here. Sarah Beth just walked up to me. She said she wanted to do a handstand.
I did.
Ooh, she's cute, too.
Don't do handstands at a beer festival. That's what I say.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so she's never done a handstand in her life, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real relief. Everybody is still alive. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
It's been a great summer so far.
That's great. Did you drink a lot of beer?
I drank a lot of beer, different types of beers, craft beers from all over the country.
Got it.
And it was a good time. Then we came back to Los Angeles. I haven't been drinking as much beer here.
Drying out a bit.
Yeah, drying out a little bit. Went down to the marijuana dispensary near my house, actually, today.
And did what?
Just to do a segment for the show.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I don't actually.
You don't touch that stuff.
I don't touch it. But I just thought, since we were on the theme of talking about beer, to show the contrast between, you know, Canada and Los Angeles.
Oh, great. So did you go in and
Yeah, we
shoot?
went in and took some pictures.
Let's see
Just
what
because
happened.
people around the country don't have access to these things, so we thought maybe it would be interesting to show everyone inside
Absolutely.
the Buds and Roses marijuana dispensary on Ventura Boulevard.
Yes.
And we get a lot of patients here in Studio City that want the sativas.
We go look at some of the harvested crops.
Let's do it. This is our Candyland right there. So it's a really popular strain.
Wow.
Yeah.
That smells really good. I mean, that smells good to me. I mean, I don't know a lot about it, but boy, that smells good. I mean, I wouldn't know really what a good, but it smells good to me. Smell that. It really does. Have you ever smelled that before, David?
Is it, what do you say, Candyland?
Yeah, it's something like that. They've got all these crazy names for it.
It all smells good to
It
me.
smelled pretty good, I can tell you. It smelled pretty darn good. Anyways, we have a great show today. We're so excited to have you here. David Faustino.
By the way, I want to mention that they had a strain of marijuana named after. It was the Grandmaster B Kush.
Yeah.
And it was going around town, yeah.
You were a Grandmaster B.
Grandmaster B Kush. Horrible strain.
That is your hip-hop moniker.
Yes, it is. So
yeah,
I
because
had a strain named after me. I just had to put that out.
You've been rhyming since 1989.
You know, on timing. Yeah.
You have a record label. A lot of your music
Old Scratch
is on
Radio, Old Scratch Records.
Old Scratch Radio, Old Scratch Records. I've done your podcast. It's all on YouTube.
Yes,
Check it out. You can call in and talk to David about it later in the show. Up next, Stacy Keach is going to be here.
Yes.
Nick Thune is going to be here. Sit back.
Whoop, whoop.
Just pour yourself a beer. Roll yourself a cigarette.
Candyland.
And we'll be right back. You're watching Tom Green Live. We are back. We are very excited to have film and theater and television legend Stacy Keach here with us today for the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. This is going to be
Great to
exciting.
yeah.
We've got people that are lined up to call in on the computer to ask questions to you. And we can talk about anything we want, really. You know.
All right.
What was your first big break, would you say?
I played an off-Broadway show called McBird back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it suggested that that John F. Kennedy was assassinated by Lyndon Johnson.
Uh-huh.
And it was in the guise of Macbeth. You know, there's a superstition in the theater. You can't say Macbeth without turning around 3 times and spitting. Otherwise, the witches will curse you. Anyway, that was my first. That was it. That was it. But everybody thought I was Lyndon Johnson after that. I mean, it was like I couldn't get a job doing anything else.
Right, really?
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
It's just not Lyndon Johnson.
Okay.
You played a few presidents. Nothing wrong with being Bud Bundy.
Hey, Bud Bundy's all right.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
if you can't be Lyndon Johnson, I'd rather Bud Bundy's good.
Yeah. Is that hard to become somebody that's so recognizable? You played Nixon as well, right?
That's true, but that was more recent.
Yeah.
More recent years. No, I think actors, generally speaking, when they first start, they start by imitating. You know, I mean, they start by imitating sounds, behavior, and so and if you've got a pretty good ear, which I think is kind of necessary for both actors and musicians. I mean, I think you sort of pick up that cadence and you begin to talk a little bit like that, or and it's right now Bryan Cranston's doing a Lyndon Johnson on Broadway. Fantastic performance.
Yeah. He's one of the great actors of our time now. Is that what you say?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who are some of your favorite actors in history?
In history, Marlon Brando and James Demme, those are the guys that I grew up with, Yeah. I remember when I was in high school, somebody asked me, I was taking a Shakespeare class, and the teacher said, who is the most famous Shakespearean actor? And I thought, Marlon Brando, because I'd just seen him do Mark Antony and Julius Caesar in the movie, Of course, the answer was Laurence Olivier, who I later became very enamored by and sort of became a role model for me, actually.
Yeah. See, I was always so confused by Shakespeare when I was in high school.
I think most people are, because it's like a foreign language.
Yeah.
It really is.
And so at what point do you think, I want to really dedicate my life to this Shakespeare?
Well, it was the summer of, I think it was 1962 or 3. I went up to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival in Ashland, Oregon, and did a couple plays and became hooked on it.
They're still doing that, aren't they? That festival?
Yeah, and now there was only one theater. Now they have like 4 theaters. Wow. And they do a year-round, just in the summer in those days. Yeah, stay 4 plays and stay 4 days, see 4 plays was that was the mantra.
And it's all Shakespeare?
It was then. Now it's not. Now they do all kinds of things.
Is there something
and
about?
I just got back from. I'm sorry.
Is there something about when you're live in front of an audience? Is that just the biggest rush compared to television or films?
Well, it is. I mean, you can tell a story. You can tell the beginning, the middle, and end of a story without somebody yelling "cut." I mean, that's always that's nice. But by the same token, Shakespeare and live theater, you have the audience. I mean, you have the response from people, and it's different than being on a set and making a movie and doing things in little snippets and little bits and pieces, and sometimes having to start at the end and work your way backwards,
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's take a call on Skype. Let's see if this works. We're having a lot of fun with this new technology.
Excellent.
Earl in California, do you have a question?
Yeah. This is for Mr. Keach. I'm a big fan, and I was wondering, you've had an over 50-year career. What do you attribute to your ability to be successful for so long?
I think it has a lot to do with support from other people. I think that because it's not all roses all the way down the road. I mean, it's you need people to give you emotional support. And I think that I'm very lucky. I have a wonderful family, and I think that's part of it. I think also you have to be persistent. You've got to be tenacious, and you've got to have perseverance. You've got to hang in when you get slapped in the face and you get rejected, which happens to everybody in this business at some point.
Absolutely.
I've read you talking about this sort of. You have to have a thick skin.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
And a sensitive inside.
A sensitive inside. Yeah.
Cool.
I just want to bring up one of my favorite roles, of course. One of your most brilliant performances is Sergeant Stadenko.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We just had Cheech and Chong here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they were here together.
Oh,
and
great.
We had them had a great interview with them, and
Great.
watched Up in Smoke and all their films, and had
Fantastic.
so much fun watching Up in Smoke. Now,
I grew up in the Lou Adler house, so
That's
it was cool,
fantastic.
amazing.
Well, I'm so glad they got back together. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
there was a period of time that they were, they weren't. Now they're back together, and hopefully they're going to make some more movies.
yeah. Now I've read you said that Sergeant Stadenko was one of your favorite roles. That
Was absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was, in those days, we thought it was sort of seditious to get out there and do, a drug movie, basically.
Yeah.
But it worked the other way. I mean, people loved it, and it was
still
very
going.
popular. It's still going.
Still
it's
going.
amazing.
You turned into a lizard
I turned into
at one point?
an iguana.
An
yes.
iguana, yeah.
Yes. It was the power of the herb.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's that Candyland.
Yes,
Well, let's
that's
take
right.
another call. We have Brian from Texas on the line. Brian, go ahead with your question.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, Stacy Keach, how are you?
Good, Brian. How are you?
Good. Hey, I just happened, I didn't know you were going to be on the show tonight. About 3 nights ago, I watched Nebraska for the first time.
Uh-huh.
I'm really good in it. I
thank you,
hated you.
thank
You
you.
were a dick.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I was absolutely.
I was scared of him.
Did you applaud when I got hit?
Have you ever,
Thanks for showing
did you
us.
ever go out for a role and you didn't get the role?
Oh,
And
many
even
times.
today, you think to yourself, God, I wish I would have gotten that role.
Oh, many times. Many times. Yeah.
Anything in particular we would know of?
How about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Jack Nicholson part. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Sure.
The Exorcist.
You turned that down, though, didn't you?
No, I didn't turn it down.
Exorcist.
No, they turned me down.
Remember The Exorcist?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Same with The Exorcist. Yeah. No, there have been many, any part that Gene Hackman's ever played.
But when you lose a part to Jack Nicholson, that can't feel too bad, I guess, right?
No, it felt pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great part. No,
Yeah.
I love Jack. No, he's a great actor, and he's at it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, we're going to take a short break. Stick around. We'll be back with Stacy Keach, David Faustino, and more. Nick Thune coming up at the end of the show. Got a lot of show left. Stay tuned.
Yes.
We are back with Stacy Keach, and David Faustino is co-hosting with me today, and we're having fun, and we're taking calls. And it's a hot day out today, isn't it?
It is.
It's hot out today.
But dry. It's a dry heat.
Yeah. Do you love Los Angeles? You
I love
living here?
Los Angeles. I grew up here.
Yeah.
I'm a California boy, even though I was born in Georgia. But I grew up here. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you end up moving here from Georgia?
My dad was an actor, and he was teaching at Armstrong College in Savannah, Georgia, and I was about 6 months old, and he got a call to come out to the Pasadena Playhouse as an actor-director.
Yeah.
So we hopped in the back of a Nash Rambler and drove to California, and yeah, that's how it
rest is
started.
history.
Well, that's how it started. Yeah, that's how it started.
That's amazing. Okay, I was watching a clip today on YouTube.
Yeah.
The thing that's cool about YouTube, right? Everything's on YouTube now.
Right.
But the bar fight scene from the 9th configuration.
Oh wow, yeah.
Was that just a pretty fun scene to shoot?
It was actually. It was.
I would suggest everybody who has YouTube out there go watch the bar fight scene from the 9th configuration. But I mean, that was just was it more fun making movies in the 70s? That was one of the things I wanted to know.
Well, you know, it was a different time, obviously, and there was a lot more, I would say, freedom with time. You could take more time we're so time conscious now, both in movies and television, that it's all we got to do it now. You know, and a feature movie that used to take a year, you know, in the back in the days of David Lean and these big, fantastic epics, it would take 3 or 4 months today. I mean, we just, and I think it has a lot to do with the technology. We can shoot with, I mean, with HD, you can shoot faster. You know, film is and editing almost happens as you simultaneously shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There's so much more media now too, though.
That's true.
When a film came out in the 70s, that was all anybody was talking about for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now television and the internet has changed everything.
Yeah. Let's take a call from Weston, Louisiana. Oh no, it's Weston in Louisiana. How are you, Weston?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Very
Hi,
good.
Weston.
What's your question?
Weston?
My question is, what acting award or role are you most proud of?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, when people ask me what's your favorite role, I always say the next one, because you know,
Yeah.
and it's kind of the same answer for this for a question like that. I mean, I just finished doing playing Falstaff in both parts of Henry IV in Washington D.C. in the Shakespeare Theater live, and I loved it. I mean, I had done it 47 years ago in Central Park when I was 27 years old. So it was a big difference, you know. I mean, in the old days, I was trying to be old and fat, and I was trying to be young and thin. You know, so, but I'm very, you know, I just finished that, and it's very much in my memory. So yeah, I think that yeah.
Thanks for your question. Matt
Yeah.
in Alberta. Alberta, we have Matt. We were just talking about the prairies, from the prairies, right?
Hey guys.
What's up, Bo?
Hey, pleasure to talk to all of you talented fellows. Stacy, just wondering, you've had an amazing career. Do you ever look at another career path and go, man, if I wasn't successful, I would have gone with that?
Well, you know, I've just recently begun to really start letting my music out of the bag a little bit more. I'm a keyboard guy, and I've been a keyboard guy all my life, and I've started to compose music. And not many people know, they don't know that about me. So that would be the alternative route I would have taken, yeah.
You did the soundtrack for the Mike Hammer audiobooks.
I did, yeah.
You wrote the soundtrack for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Well, and I've used, God bless him, Earl Haken's Harlem Nocturne was the theme for Mike Hammer, so I used that, different permutations of Harlem Nocturne, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to another call. Brendan from Texas.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, you're the voice of Duff Beer on The Simpsons. Have you ever had a Duff Beer?
No, but I'd love to have one. I'd love to have one. You know, it's funny you mentioned that, because we just finished doing another Simpsons episode where Duffman, we can't use Duff, well, I shouldn't give away the plot, but anyway, I come back as the head of Duff Beer. I come back, yeah.
That's cool. Have you two met before? Or,
No, it's our
just
first time
today,
back
yeah,
in the
yeah.
green room,
I
but
find
I'm a giant fan, so
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here
thanks, man.
starstruck.
Yeah, I find that amazing, because you know, you guys both grew up here in Hollywood.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've
I'm
been
born and raised here.
both acting from a young age.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
How old were you in your very first role?
I was 4. I played Old King Cole, you know, in the kindergarten pageant. You know, but that was in Taft, Texas, actually. That wasn't
My
here.
first role, I was 3 months old.
Yeah.
I played Lily Tomlin's daughter.
Oh. You don't look the part. That's good. That's great.
And how do you think that changes you growing up in front of the camera? Does that change
growing
you?
up in California, were you? Well, if you played that so you grew up in the industry as well too.
Yeah, my whole life.
Yeah, me too. My dad was in the business, and I grew up in the valley, and you know, and all my friends had mothers or fathers or sisters or brothers who were involved in the business. You feel more comfortable with it, and when you go away, when you go outside of Hollywood, and you know, people, you become a star. Even if nobody knows who you are, you know, just because you live here, you know.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like when Mike Hammer was on TV.
Yeah.
This was the biggest thing on TV for a while. I mean,
Back in the 80s, yeah.
Is it a different experience when you have a TV show like that?
Well, that particular show was, you know, we brought it back 12 years later, and we did another like 26 episodes in a different context. But that character, you know, it stuck with me. I mean, it's just, and I'm still doing audio books with my camera and doing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it just, I grew up, Mickey Spillane was one of my favorite authors. I love Mickey Spillane. And even though in those days that was like soft porn, you know, I mean, you know, dog-eared pages and books under the bed. Your parents said, "What do you read? Nothing, nothing." And it was, you know, you're not reading that trash, are you? You know, it was like that. That's what my parents thought. That was. I loved it because he was different. He was a different kind of detective. He was tougher than any other detective, and he was also. He liked the girls, you know, and so I identified with that.
Yeah. When a show like that comes on, though, you've been acting for a long time, then all of a sudden you have this runaway hit show. When Married with Children comes out, and all of a sudden you're getting recognized on the street, and you said when you leave Los Angeles, it's like a different. Is that weird?
Well,
do you like that?
You know, I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, it's like sometimes it's nice to be recognized, and I like people. I like talking to people. I enjoy that. But if you're in a restaurant and you're having dinner with your family and somebody comes, will you please sign? You know,
while you're eating.
Exactly. You know, I had the great privilege and pleasure of having dinner with Orson Welles once. We were doing a movie together in Las Vegas, and we were eating at the MGM Grand Hotel. I'll never forget. And this little old lady came up and she said to Orson, "Well, Mr. Welles, you know, would you please?" I said, "Not while I'm eating, dear." He was having 2 sides of roast beef because he was on a diet. He would have had 3 otherwise.
Wow. And what did you guys talk about?
You know, he didn't want to talk about his movies, and all I wanted to talk about was his, like Citizen Kane and Touch of Evil and Don Quixote and all the, you know, Other Side of the Wind, all these things that he was in the midst of. And he said, "No, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about you."
Yeah.
You know, and I found that it was amazing.
Frustrating, I guess. But
well,
he probably gets asked those stories, and then.
Yeah. He just didn't. He didn't want to. He asked me lots of questions about things that I was doing, and I was involved. We talked a lot about Shakespeare because he, of course, you know, did some of the great, I mean, movies of, you know, they're classics. I mean, his Othello and his one of the, and Chimes at Midnight, which was sort of the basis for my Falstaff, was just sort of emulating and copying Orson when he played Falstaff in the movie many years ago.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back. And Nick Thune is going to be joining us in a bit. Hilarious comedian Nick Thune is going to be here, and Stacy Keach and David Faustino. Stick around.
Yeah.
Ready, red, take red.
And we're back. I hope you are enjoying the show, relaxing, having a nice evening. We're here with Stacy Keach and David Faustino. We have Gwen from Missouri on Skype calling us. Gwen, hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Very good. What's your question?
I have a question for Stacy. I know he's done a lot of Shakespeare, and I wanted to find out, Stacy, do you prefer the live theater or I movies?
Oh, I like both. I like both. If somebody were to put a gun to my head and said, "You have to make a choice," I would choose live theater just because it's people, and you know.
Has anyone ever done that?
But you're
no, not for that reason. No. Maybe.
But your bank account would dwindle quickly.
Very.
Have you ever done any live theater?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Done live theater all before I did Married with Children, and during, and I mean Married with Children in essence was wasn't live, but I mean we shot in front of a live audience all those episodes.
Right.
Yeah. I loved it. I like the direct feeling that you get from the audience.
Yeah.
So, what do you do though, like when you can't remember your line? Do the other people just keep going, or?
You ad lib.
You just keep it going until it comes back.
Yeah. And then you just, what if you can't remember any of your lines?
Then you're in big trouble. You're in wrong business.
Then you pull the Richard Dreyfuss where you just stop in the middle of it, don't say anything, this actually happened, pause, walk over, pick up the play, find your line, put it back down, and go right back in.
That's great.
Probably gets a big laugh when you do that.
Genius. Genius.
Cool. Jeff from Pennsylvania, you are on the air.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, Jeff.
I had one question for you. You played a lot of cops and detectives in films.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered a career in law enforcement?
No, not really. Not for real, anyway. But, you know, I feel, I narrate a show called American Greed. It's on CNBC. And it's like we tell these tales about bad people. And I feel a little bit like a cop, I got to say that. I really feel like, you know, because these are cautionary tales. It's like, if something sounds too good to be true, watch out, and it probably is.
Like a lot of, like you sometimes hear about people like Steven Seagal. He actually went and became a cop, right? You ever think of doing that? Just going out and arresting someone?
No.
Could you imagine getting pulled over by this guy?
Yeah. That's Mike Hammer.
Scary.
Yeah.
Now, did Steven Seagal start as a cop and then become an actor, or did he?
I think he just. I think he just pretends he's a cop, and he goes out. And, he just goes out and just pretends to be a cop now. Yeah. They've got a show about it and everything. No, I'm not sure. We have Walter. Do we have Walter from Georgia? Oh, we don't.
No more
hey,
Walter.
we went out in the street today and we took some questions from people on the street. We could maybe take one. Actually, we had somebody add a question for David Faustino on the street today. Yeah. Do you want to answer a question from somebody on the street? We have because we go out to Burbank here. We go out to the beautiful downtown Burbank, and we get questions from people on the street. So let's have a look and see what they have to say.
Hey David, my name's Adam. I just wanted to know, does it bother you when you get called Bud Bundy instead of your real name?
Okay.
Does it bother me? He's not there now.
Yeah, well, that pop.
I'm not talking to him anymore.
I think our monitor just.
I'll tell you then.
Yeah.
It used to when I was growing up as a teenager. You know, you're a teenager, you're adolescent, you hate everybody, you got zits all over your face. Like, I hated it. People call me Bud. I took offense and wanted to fight them. You know,
really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
While the show was on the air?
Yeah, but I was just a stupid teenager, you know. And then I started to grow out of it. And now I could not care less. Just. I don't care. I mean, it's just people call me David. Some people call me Bud on the street. Whatever.
It's got to be kind of hard being a kid and everybody knowing who you are and all that stuff.
It was weird for a while. I mean, there's like anything. I mean, there was amazing perks that I got from that show, and I'm so grateful for it. But yeah, there's weird stuff too. You know, people. I mean, you know, you've been to my home. You see the tour buses that come by my home all day long.
It's pretty funny. It actually does come by every day.
Yeah.
The Maps to the Stars homes truck comes by.
So I just
and you know them all.
I wave at them. You know. They sing the Married with Children theme song.
Okay. Very good.
I go out. Hey.
Cool. Dan from Montreal, you are on the air. Dan.
Hey, you guys. How's it going?
Really good. Really good. What's your question, Dan?
So I have a question for Stacy.
Uh-huh.
I'm a big American Greed fan.
Oh, good.
And I wanted to know, all your years narrating American Greed, have you picked up on any like really awesome ways to fraud people that you can maybe share with us?
You want me to get in trouble? No, yeah. You know, so many of our shows, as you know, excuse me, as you know, are Ponzi schemes. They have a lot to do with, you know, that kind of fraud, and they're pretty clever too.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I thought it's so easy for a guy to rob Peter to, you know. Basically what a Ponzi scheme is you take money from somebody and then you get money from somebody else to give money back to the person that gave you the money originally.
Bernie Madoff kind of. Yeah.
These guys all think they can do this legally.
Yeah.
You know, excuse me, let me get the water.
Yeah, sorry, I was. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess that was my job.
Yeah, no.
That's very good.
It's my first co-host.
Yeah, first co-host.
Thank you.
Yeah. We don't normally have two guests at the same time, so we need another table. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a show on about counterfeiting.
Yeah.
And we actually showed people how these guys were, you know, making these dollar bills and $100 bills and $50 bills and $20, you know, the paper and the ink and all that. I thought, is this too much? I mean, you know, it's a little bit like, you know, I'm sure that building bombs on, you know, off the internet or something else that other shows are doing too. I mean, it's all available. I mean, it's, you know, it's everything.
Or how to make meth on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you always have this voice?
This voice?
Your voice is just probably
the
reason why you do a lot of this narration voiceover.
Yeah, but no, I think it was something I developed over the years, you know, just something that started it, you know.
Yeah. It's like you know, is that fun doing voiceover? Like
It's great.
Doing narration for.
You don't have to wear makeup. You just go in there and I love it. Yeah.
Greatest gig in the world.
Yeah,
It
cool.
really, yeah.
All right, what do you prefer playing? The good guys?
Bad guys are always more fun.
Yeah.
The bad guy, they're always more interesting to me. I mean, they have more quirky eccentricities. And for an actor, that kind of behavior is, I think, more interesting and sometimes to reveal or to express. Good guys sometimes are very hard because you're very, if you're the moral crusader. That's one of the reasons I think Mike Cameron was successful for me, because he was sort of a good bad guy or a bad good guy.
Is a character ever so bad that you don't even know how do you relate to him? How do you understand?
I played a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
American History X, that guy was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
How do you understand where he's coming from?
Well, everybody, whether they're good or bad, have needs. Everybody has needs. You have to sort of figure out what those needs are, define what those needs are. Attention, love, respect are usually things that people are in desperate need of, or money. Poverty, if you're poor. Revenge is a very strong motive in drama. It's one of the great themes. I mean, getting even with somebody. I mean, even ever since the Greeks. So that's always an interest in how to get even with somebody. I mean, they say revenge is a dish best served cold, but I don't necessarily believe that all the time. I think you can go a little warmer.
I like playing a bad guy because you just get to be a dick for a whole month.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get to bring it home and blame it on the character.
And people think it's
sorry, babe.
That's right. Yeah, my fault.
People assume it's not really you.
Yeah.
But it actually is. Right? No, that's cool. Very cool. It's just fun listening to you talk.
Thank you. It's fun to be here talking.
Yeah, it's been so great to have you here today.
Well, thank you
I really
very
appreciate it. This summer you have 3 movies that are going to be coming out in the theater this summer.
Thank you,
The
yes.
Cell with Samuel L. Jackson and John Cusack.
Yeah.
If I Stay, and Sin City 2.
Sin City 2 is coming out August 22nd, and If I Stay comes out in August as well. Yeah. I think Cell's going to be a little later. I'm not sure about that though. And Planes. Fire and Rescue for the kids, and Disney animated film.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I play Skipper.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Busy summer.
And
your
book.
Your
I
book.
stole it from you.
And your audio books as well. This is what you did the soundtrack for.
Yes, that's right.
So great to have you here, Stacy.
Thanks,
Thank you
Tom.
so much.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. We'll be right back after the break with Nick Thune. Stick around. We'll be back. Thanks, Stacy. Well, that was pretty cool to spend some time with Stacy Keach, and now we have Nick Thune joining us. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.
David is still here. But now this is the first time we've really met, isn't it?
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, the first time we've met. I mean, I've known about you I saw you swim across Lake Washington.
Yeah.
On your MTV show.
Yeah. You're from Seattle.
From Seattle.
I decided to swim across Lake Washington.
And it started to spread kind of like wildflowers.
Yeah, like flowers spreading.
Like a lot of wildflowers kind of out there.
Yeah, there's a big crowd.
Tom Green's around.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
People just kept I got a call, you got to get out here, and it's the beach, and
Did you actually, could you see yourself in the show?
No, I didn't make the cut.
It's on YouTube.
Very frustrating,
Yeah, well, I love Seattle. It was a lot of fun.
I'd actually like to get, if there's a way to add me into it, that'd be, if somebody out there could.
Yeah, we'll go back, find the raw footage.
Recut it,
So this is cool. Well, thanks for coming. How's things going? You've been performing on the Tonight Show. You've been touring. You've got a new comedy special coming out.
out.
You have a child.
I have a child. Yeah. I have a.
Where's the pics?
They're actually all on Google.
Okay.
I put them all up. I wanted people to search them immediately.
Right.
Really?
I got him a Gmail account. I'm going to save it till he's 16.
Yeah. Did your child have a Facebook page before it was born?
Yes. He's social media wise. He's taken care of when
across the board.
Across the board. Because I don't want him to be like Towns Thune 5.
Yeah.
I want him to have it.
Is that fun having a child? Is it?
It is. The stressful part was the beginning of having the child. We went to the hospital, and the first doctor we went to, he did the test. And I'd actually gone to a drugstore, and you can buy a test that your wife pees into. It has to be your wife, by the way.
Yeah.
And
a pregnancy test?
Yeah, that'll tell you what the sex of the baby is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it told us we were having a boy, and so then we go into the hospital, and some guy at the hospital, doctor, does the ultrasound and says, you're having a girl. And then he just moved on, and I said, well, actually, I took a test at a CVS, and it said it was a boy. And he looked at me like I was an idiot, and then kept talking, and I was looking at the screen, just looking, the hardest I've ever looked for a baby penis in my life, like on this big,
And that's probably saying
the
something.
ultrasound, yeah. I've never looked that hard. I mean, I've looked easily.
I wanted
you
to
know?
clarify, yeah.
Yeah. And
sounded like you implied that maybe you had looked a little bit in the past.
Who hasn't,
Yeah.
Tom? I think that's
that baby is well hung.
Well, I saw a baby penis on the, because they have them on like big screen TVs like you're in a sports bar now, like looking at the inside of your wife. And I saw this penis and said, hey, isn't that a penis? And this doctor looked at it and said, if he thinks that's a penis, then I want to know who got you pregnant.
Yeah.
To my wife. He
Yeah.
said that. Like, first of all, saying, I don't know what penises look like.
Yeah.
And then also saying, maybe my wife had an affair on me.
But it turned out you were right, though, didn't it?
Yeah, the next doctor said we were right.
Yeah.
And then I sent an email with the picture of my son's penis to the first doctor.
Yeah.
And haven't heard back.
Who was
Yeah.
this first doctor? Huh? Who was this guy?
Should I say his name?
No, let's not throw him under the bus. Hey, Paula.
Dr. Drew. by the way.
Paula from Virginia. He's a friend of ours, right here. Paula from Virginia, you're on the air. Do you have a question?
Hi. Hey, David. I just want to know, is there ever going to be a Married with Children reunion?
That's funny you ask. They're actually been talking about it recently over the last 6 months or so. Michael Moy, who was one of the original creators, is kind of on board, and the whole cast has agreed to do something around a spinoff. But I don't know until I'm on the set. I don't believe anything. So we'll see.
You stay in touch with everyone, the cast?
I do. Yeah, have them all. I've had them all on my radio show, and we're very close, like family.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be great if we could do that.
Now, how are you enjoying, doing what you're doing right now, acting and touring? What do you prefer? Do you prefer doing stand-up? You were Knocked Up.
Yes.
Do you enjoy that?
I do. I love acting, and I actually just played a movie, and I actually really wanted to talk to Stacy about it.
He's gone now.
He's gone. It's frustrating. But he was talking about his roles that were amazing, and my biggest role that I played was a penis in a movie, a guy whose penis supernaturally became a human. And I play. It's called Bad Johnson. And it was like a bad guy role, and it was kind of fun to play. But I would like to act, and you go on the road. We actually were in Melbourne together.
Yeah.
At the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Can I say you did one of the funniest things I've seen. We were at a bar, like an underground bar, and they had a silent disco.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this?
I do remember this now.
And have you been to a silent disco?
Yeah, at Coachella.
Yeah, and it's just in the headphones, and everyone's like, it's silent. You take the headphones off, and you're like, it's silent.
Yeah.
And they'd given you a mic, and you stood up on the speaker, and your mic was only going into the headphones.
Yeah.
And you said, when I say poo, you say your pants, poo. And you had about a 10-minute chant of people just saying poo their pants. And it was amazing.
I must have been really drunk because I don't remember that. No, I remember that. That was fun. Yeah, we had a great time. Melbourne is a great experience, isn't it? Going over there, the comedy. You like going to comedy festivals?
It's so much fun.
Because there's so much activity.
Yeah, and you're like a big
there.
group of people. It's like if you worked at a regular job and you went on a weekend, whatever, and everybody's in a hotel cheating on their wives and stuff.
Yeah. How do you just not party? How do you just not party every single night while you're there?
I think that's something I haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
You're working on that.
Yes.
Got it.
We'll get
me
there.
too.
We'll get there.
That's pretty much the curse of being a stand-up touring road comic, is how do you not party every night?
Yeah, and it's interesting because they want you to. Like people at the club, or people want to buy you shots, and the Broken Lizard guys?
Yeah.
I opened for them once at a college, and we went to a bar afterwards. Thank you. And people just give them shots because they did a movie about drinking. And so we did like 3 shots. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to last the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And one of them said, they were like, oh no, we toss them on the ground and then fake take them. And then I was like, oh cool, I'm going to go grab a taxi then because I am in bad trouble at this point.
Yeah, so you weren't in on the game. You just figured.
No, yeah, that's something you tell someone before.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, don't throw them don't throw a perfectly good shot on the ground. That's ridiculous. Hey, Ann Barr from California, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Are you going to giggle a little bit for us again? You've called before. You always giggle a little bit.
I get excited.
Yeah.
To be honest.
You want to just giggle a little before you ask the question?
I can ask a question. I have a question for Nick.
Well, giggle a bit first. Giggle a little bit more. Okay, now go ahead with your question for Nick. Yeah.
Oh, well, sort of on the subject, I was going to ask Nick what he does after one of his stand-up shows to unwind.
Yeah, let's hear this. And truthfully. Real deal.
To unwind after a show, it's difficult because you kind of have your egos kind of on high and audience was just into you. So for me, it's usually a shirtless, hit a bar, take my shirt off, and who knows where it goes from there. Never really know until the next day, back to the hotel. Really, you just go, you have a drink, and then you go back and you call your wife and you pretend like you didn't have fun, and then...
Right. Then you go have fun
yeah,
after
then
the
you,
phone call.
Yeah, after the phone call, then it's like, okay, now I can really let loose.
I'm in bed. I'm going to bed now, darling.
I take it your wife's not watching the show tonight.
I don't give her a TV.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back after the break. Stick around. We are back. Nick Thune is still here. David Faustino is here. We are having a nice time. We're having a nice time, right?
Yeah.
It's fun. We're talking. We're having fun.
Yeah,
Are you having fun?
Great time.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I think we all look good.
We look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel. Have you always had the beard?
You know, not since after I was about 22, just because I couldn't physically grow it before that. But I've always wanted a beard because I have a weak chin, so it was just like the second I can cover that chin up, I just can't wait.
Yeah, that's why I got mine too. Yeah.
It's fun. Just let's get personal, you know? That's why I have a lot of pubic hair, too, to hide my ball, you know.
Oh, that's pubic hair on your...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, this is... It's
okay. I thought you meant it was pubic hair on your face.
Well, it's a locks of love thing, where guys that have it... Guys that can't grow beards, other guys donate their pubes.
Yeah, okay, really, so it's transplanted there from pubes.
At this point, I'm glad I don't have a beard.
Okay, so let's move on. Graham in Massachusetts, how are you? What's going on?
Hey, bud, how's it going?
Good. What's your question, Graham in Massachusetts?
You're a big Whoopi fan.
Yeah, first of all, why are you showcasing that poster?
It's all I got going for me, man.
Oh, Graham.
That was genius.
All he's got
Thumbs
going
up on
for
that
him
one.
is a Sister Act poster.
So, absolutely. So, Nick, I'm a big fan, by the way. I just wanted to know what type of difference has social media made on your career and also the way that different comics these days can make an impact and get noticed?
A great question.
That is a great question.
Yeah.
It's nice because you have like immediate access to your fans, so you can interact with them at all times and remind. I think it's everyone's thing of like, just I'm still here. Remember me? You know, I'm Nick.
Hell yeah.
I like to talk, and so you can kind of continually keep your name out there. And there's silly ways to create press. Like for my album, I did a thing where I had I didn't get any funding from Netflix for this new thing. And so I bought on my own pocket one billboard in Central Oregon that's just the artwork. And I just figured I'm just going to put it out and hopefully someone tweets a picture of it.
Just like in the middle of nowhere?
Central Oregon, middle of nowhere. Not even on I-5.
How much did that cost?
$1,000.
For how long?
Yeah, I took a loan out.
For how long?
Yeah.
It was up for a month.
Wow.
And one guy tweeted a picture of it, and that got me all this press. Like, you know, so like that guy, the social media aspect got me more press than Netflix gave me.
Yeah. Is the billboard still there?
No, it's gone.
I got to get one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta have one.
Yeah, we should do that for the show.
I live on Sunset Boulevard.
I like that. We might steal that idea.
It's better to do that than to get an expensive one somewhere where a ton of people are going to see it and not care.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool. Yeah, well, let's see. You use the social media. You want to plug your Twitter accounts right now? I'm on Twitter. You guys are on Twitter, right?
We're all on Twitter. What's yours?
At Nick Thune.
At Nick Thune. I'm at David Faustino.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's on IG as well.
Yeah. I'm at Tom Green Live because this guy Tom Green in Toronto registered at first. So.
Have you ever discussed?
But you are live, so it kind of works out.
Yeah, but the name of the show is that. So yeah, I talked to him about it. He still wouldn't give it to me.
There's another Nick Thune out there. There's two. One of them's a pastor in Cleveland.
Is he funny?
No, he's actually a real dirtbag.
Got it.
No, he's probably. He's probably a good guy. He's probably a good guy.
The opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of this show. Okay.
Of Nick Thune. And then there's another Nick Thune who's the son of Senator John Thune in South Dakota, who's a baseball player. And I was so sick of people typing in Nick Thune baseball and getting him on Google. I made a video of me just with a baseball And now if you type in Nick Thune baseball, you get me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Genius.
Judy in Maryland, you're on the air with your bird. How are you? What's your question?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is for Nick. I'd like to know, since you're a dual performer, actually, you're a stand-up comedian and an actor and a musician, do you have a preference of acting over stand-up? I mean, do you want to pursue acting full-time, or do you love splitting your talents up between everything?
I think it's nice to do different things. The stand-up is my core of my foundation of how I got to act, so it's nice to go back to that. And I think for stand-ups, anytime you get to act, it's really to promote your stand-up, because it just hopefully pushes people to you and your product and moves on. But yeah, stand-up's my favorite.
Cool. Yeah, you guys want to see our control room? Yeah, we got a new camera in our control room. Hey, Devin, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Yeah.
How's it going, Tom?
Yeah, hey, there's Devin. That's Devin, our director, and this is our control room here. We have any more Skype calls or anything lined up?
We got one here. Put A in preview.
This is where it all comes from.
We're counting
Skype
down,
calls.
Take $2.
This is where we cut to all of our feeds, our video feeds. And we put a new camera in there today.
Exciting, man.
And I was going to talk about it at the beginning of the show, but then I forgot to mention it. So I mentioned it now.
Yeah, it worked out.
Do those guys have a Twitter feed? The guys in the control room?
At Access TV is our Twitter feed. Cool. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate it, guys. What's up next? Where are you performing next? You have some shows coming up.
This Sunday at Subculture in New York.
Okay.
So it's in Manhattan, and it's Sunday night, 8 o'clock with Hannibal Buress, Wyatt Cenac, Ben Kronberg, me.
Are you guys all buddies?
And it's a vinyl release show.
Are you guys all buddies? Do all the comedians know each other?
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's like you see each other around, and maybe behind their backs we're not friends, but
yeah,
I think we're friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's up with you?
Me, let's see. I just finished the Entourage film. I don't know when that'll be out, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm on every Sunday night on Ski Radio. I do a hip hop show.
Ski from Access TV.
Yeah, from Ski. Yeah, that's right. He's
Ski
family
Live.
here. Ski Live.
Yeah.
I do a show on his network. I don't know. Check out Starving and other stuff.
So you got
out
any
there.
behind-the-scenes spoilers about the Entourage movie? And you tell us what's going on there?
To be honest with you,
give away the ending,
they had the original script was 180 pages for a comedy, and as soon as I saw that, I just read my parts.
Just read your part. Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that makes sense. Okay,
True story, by the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to know.
Yeah.
180 pages. Come on.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming today. I know it was sort of short notice. Thanks for coming in and stepping up for us. We had a great time. We'll see you next week. Whoop, whoop.